We're here.
That's how you're starting the podcast with that noise?
It is.
Do it again?
Do.
Okay, not bad.
Do you wear contacts?
No.
You son of a bitch. You're
Why?
just seeing for free?
Oh, yeah. My vision is excellent.
Did you?
I have excellent vision.
That sounds like something a psycho on Reddit would say.
No, listen. And maybe
as a man, I have excellent vision.
And if I knew how to use Reddit, if my country ass knew how to use Reddit, I'd be saying it all over that place. I would be on r/cars going, my vision's unbelievable.
You're that person like, I have 20/20 vision.
I think I have like better than that.
Oh, you've invented new vision.
No, it's not invented.
You're Superman.
No. Tiger Woods also has better than 20/20 vision. Famously, after getting eye surgery.
That's why he can see so many women.
Very
got
good.
That good vision.
He has the perfect vision.
I cannot believe you can see for free.
He's like, wait. Yeah, I'd fuck her. Yeah, I'd fuck her. Wait, over in the corner, back left. If I pitch it, wait, let me see the wind. Drop some grass. Yeah, I would fuck her.
That's her.
That's her.
It makes me so mad to think about the idea that some people have to pay to see. I have to pay money to be allowed to see.
To be allowed to see.
Isn't that insane?
Well, to be allowed to see in a way that won't obstruct the lives of others. Do you know what I mean?
Or my own.
Or your own, yes. But both.
It's an insane concept.
You'd be Mr. Magooing your way around life if you didn't have
And I already am, really.
Oh, yeah.
People always say, look at that Magoo.
Did you ever wear colored contacts?
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
I have some right now.
Oh, really?
I have multiple contacts.
Whoa.
I love a good switch up.
Oh, yeah.
I had purple crazy eyes. I was in school, like, math, English, but just bright purple eyes.
There was this kid who used to go to my who went to my high school. His name was Eli. He was the most beautiful guy you've ever seen, like incredibly beautiful Cape Verdean guy, and he got blue contacts. And he just started wearing, and we were just like, "Can you stop? Can you not do this?
It's insane.
This is insane what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Like, why you can't be this handsome in class?"
Oh, well, first of all, I thought you were saying that the contacts ruined it.
No, they didn't. No. I mean,
I know you're lying because anyone that has, I'm sorry, I
Please.
have to let you guys know. If you're wearing colored contacts, and I've been there and I've done it, and I'll do it again.
Yeah, of course.
It looks stupid.
You think so?
It looks. I mean, I guess there's probably like very good ones out there that I just maybe haven't seen.
Right.
But when you're just bebopping around a Walmart and somebody turns around with vampiric blue eyes,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I guess. Well, it could have also been one of those high school things where your taste is not yet refined. Do you know what I mean?
Not
Back
me.
then,
Couldn't be me.
Of course not. And listen, I would never say that.
That's right. You know.
Just
you know better.
understand. I know better than that. But like me, I feel like I would look at people. I would look at a woman. I'd be like, "This is the most elegantly dressed woman ever," and it was like Kohl's instead of Kmart.
You're
So
like,
I was like,
she has golden eyes.
"Is that a princess?" Yeah.
Like it looks, those contacts literally look like you ripped the eyes out of a Cabbage Patch doll and glued them to your lids.
It does look like
It's
that.
just,
But it's piercing. But some people have eyes like that.
yeah, of course they do,
Yeah.
but it's very different.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be able to see a black plastic rim around your blue eye.
That's fair. Yeah. It says the
Anyways,
barcode of the
I think
eyes.
you're a complete monster for being able to see.
I understand that. Yeah, I mean, I would be upset too if I had to pay any money to see. I don't really have to pay any money for anything right now.
Oh
but
my
when I
God.
get older, I will.
This podcast is just becoming a list of your privileges.
I know. Yeah, it's
You're
cool.
like, it's insane.
Isn't it? Well, listen, I'm not one of these people who. Isn't it much worse to be one of those people that's like, yeah, but my life is so hard, and then they have their dad like.
No, I think you're all bad.
Of course, no, but like the people whose dads like own Lockheed Martin, and they're like, but I struggled. I had to work a landscaping job.
I was a valet for a year.
I was a valet for a year, parking Bugattis. Yeah. It's way worse to be that person.
You know what? I didn't know. I was thinking more as I process more of you when you're not around. When I just think about what you're doing all the time.
I'm glad that happens.
Yeah. You know how it is whenever you have a new friend and you're like, I need to know what they're doing at all times.
What's going on
or
with
they
Ben?
hate.
Yeah, I think that sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your morning routine like? I was just thinking about this because I was like, man, I wake up and do the same thing every morning, pretty much.
Yeah.
I know yours is about to be insane.
When I'm on, which sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off. But when I'm on, it's not as insane. I wake up, I do breathing exercises. Right.
Oh, this is when you're on.
When I'm on, this is me when I'm on. If I'm
Just
having
mentally off.
If I'm having a perfect morning, which I do maybe four days out of the week, 3 or 4 days out of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up, I do breathing exercises before I get out of bed, and then
Wait, no, hold on. You're laying down in bed breathing.
laying down in bed, I wake up.
So you're
I
just
do
laying in
breathing
bed like.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's called crying.
No, it
Dan.
doesn't sound like I'm coming. That's not what
That's
the
what you
breathing
think. I was doing a
exercises
crying noise. That was a crying noise.
I don't know about that. Listen,
you don't cry when you come.
Pain and pleasure. So wake up. I do breathing exercises. I will eat something light. I'll walk to the coffee shop and I'll write my jokes for the day. So I try to write like 6 jokes or joke ideas, right? And then I walk from that coffee shop back home. I meditate, and then I open my laptop. So up to that point, I don't look at a screen, and I'm saying this is a perfect morning. This is when I do everything right, which I don't often do.
You're so crunchy. You're a granola bar.
I am. Yeah. No. It's something I'm coming to terms with more.
It's very confusing.
Well, I think it's beautiful because there's so many coming to age stories.
I think it's beautiful. I'm gonna hit you with this microphone.
There's so many coming to age stories where people like are stuck in this like hard, rigid sort of like lifestyle, but then they break free by becoming like alty, and they realize this is actually me. I'm the exact opposite. I slowly, as I get older and become my truer self, realize I'm like a boring, weird, like strict guy.
I'm still shocked by the fact that you think you're in your coming of age story era.
Well, no, I mean, that's how my progress of coming to age went. It went from me thinking I'm this like alty cool guy to like, no, I'm like fucking.
Your morning routine makes me. Sometimes you say things that make me feel bad.
Yeah, tell me.
And I need to let you know about that.
Go, like what?
That's a great example. Like I was like,
okay,
Dan's gonna have the silliest morning routine, and then I'm gonna come in here and be like, listen to my morning routine. And you have a real morning routine. I was talking about like I get up and eat the same cereal and wash my face every day.
No, well, I don't wash my face, so you have that on me.
Woo!
Yeah.
You've already walked 8 miles, ate a light meal, meditated.
I do walk a lot.
Wrote jokes for the day. You know when I write my jokes? When I'm driving in the car.
But this is what people don't understand, what I try to explain. I can never do a joke about this because it's unrelatable and people don't like it when you talk about having a morning routine. But it's like, I have to do that because I'm so psychotic that if I don't, I go crazy. Like, I can't function. I don't know how to, like, I have to treat myself like a military kid, or I won't get anything done in the day.
You just recorded yourself screaming at yourself, "Get up, Maggie!" It plays on your thing.
I think all the time about my friends, it's like ones in comedy, but also ones outside of comedy, who can stay out late and drink a bunch and wake up the next morning and still get their shit done. And I'm like, I couldn't come close to doing that. I have nothing. Whatever your life energy is, I just do not possess it.
Okay, I have that. I can't. I've never been hungover.
Yes.
And I will drink.
Yes,
and
that's
I'm fine
insane.
the next day. I used to go and open. I was the manager of a store. I would open it. I was fine. That I'm good at. But
you look back at the tape and it's you like, we're opening the store now.
Oh no, I'm peppy. I'm like, hello. I'm actually probably better. But I'm the opposite. I have to. We're lucky if I go somewhere, because I will be like, well, you know, what if it rains?
Right.
What if I have to park the car?
That's fair.
What if I have to walk? And oh my God, if I'm meeting someone and they're not at the exact spot that they say we're gonna meet at when I get there, devastated. I'm thrown into a full-on panic.
Right.
I'm pulling out mace. I'm hiding behind bushes.
You turn into Jason Bourne.
I'm terrified. I'm like, what will happen to me? I'm like, someone's gonna walk by and say something horrible to me, or better yet, they're gonna start small talk. What will I do?
Right.
Like, it's truly, and then I'm pissed. By the time they get there, I'm like, you're 5 minutes late.
You know, I guess dating a woman especially really helps me understand like what privilege actually means, because it is kind of a nebulous concept, and I think to a lot of guys, it is like kind of like, oh, privilege, like you think my life is easy, and it's like, no one's saying your life is easy, but it's just saying like you are afforded certain things by whatever you were born as, by no work that you put in.
Like being left alone.
Right, yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like the being by yourself and being like, oh, I'm afraid someone's gonna like be mean to me. Like, I don't really have that very much, but that's because usually when I'm out, I'm left alone, or someone's like, although I did get street harassed today. Whoop, whoop. I got
equality. Equality.
That is not the reaction. How dare you?
I mean, you just said you deserved it.
I did not say I deserved. Now you're saying I deserved it.
No, I mean, you're saying men. You were like, they have it so easy, and then you just look at that.
This is like, on record. This is on fucking record right now.
This.
Yeah,
if I wanted it gone, it would be gone.
It's out. No, I was walking away from Home Depot, which, by the way, is my safe space as a straight guy. It's Home Depot. That's where I'm supposed to be safe and nurtured.
I almost didn't move in here because it's across the street from a Home Depot, and I was like, I will never be able to go outside.
Why?
Because I don't know if you know this. Sometimes when I go outside, people just yell things. They'll just be like, bad word that I can't say on the internet.
Right.
And I'm just like, Thank you.
Right. They'll be like, thing that I've been called, but for some reason the algorithm still won't let me say, even though it's in reference to someone else saying it to me. That word?
Word. Even when I spell it different, it's like, we know what you mean.
We know what you mean. No, but I was, no, I think the people who hang out outside of Home Depot are cool. We used to, when I was doing food runs, I did food distro for a while, and when we had extra food, we would just take it to those guys, like the guys who hang out outside of Home Depot, and they were really nice.
Food runs.
Yeah, well,
that's me when I'm done with the workout.
There's like an organization in LA that just like gets restaurants, and if they have extra food, they just make extra simple meals.
Oh my God, I love that.
They hand it out to like unhoused people. Yeah,
that's
which
so
is
cool.
It's cool. I would do it a lot more when I didn't have a job or whatever, but I have still like tried to stick with it. But we would give it any extra stuff we had, we would give it to the people outside of Home Depot. They were always so nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I love
such
that.
sick dudes.
Tell us about being harassed.
So I'm walking.
That was a great segue.
I'm walking away from the Home Depot, and I hear behind me, "You're very handsome," and I'm like. I like turn, and it's a woman, and she's like looking at me, and I like look at her, and I just don't say anything because that's never happened to me.
You think that's being catcalled?
You're very if a woman's walking down the street and someone goes, "You're beautiful," that's a catcall. It's not like I'm not saying I was assaulted. I'm not saying someone drop kicked me in the middle of the street.
Just saying, I've had that happen. I thought you were going to say something. You were going to be like, "Take your shirt off."
No. But this is the funny part. So she keeps walking next to me. And like staring at me, and I'm just like eyes forward. Like she keeps pace and is like looking at me, and I keep looking forward. And she goes, "Do you speak English?"
Oh, okay. I understand. See, I should let you finish the story. You were assaulted. That's assault, and I apologize.
Do you speak English?
That's insane. As if how could you resist? Was she a siren? How could you resist me?
You must not.
I'm a fucking succubus.
Wait, what language should I harass you in?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what language?
What can I say to you? That's I one time when I was doing when I was doing makeup on this lady one time. So when I do makeup on people, I have to I purposely will stand with my body to the side because of this woman. I was standing, and I guess when you're sitting in a chair, I have to stand in front of them, right? So my knees or my groin is where their knee is, kind of not on it, but in the same area,
right?
And I was and I had a brush belt on, which hangs like where a fanny pack was, and it's full of brushes. Yes. And I was doing this lady's eyeshadow, and she leaned forward with her eyes closed. She leaned forward and went, "I can feel you on my knee." And I said, "What?" Because I know she couldn't.
Sure.
And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Do you like me?" And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Can you stop talking for a minute?"
Describe this woman. Can you describe this woman?
Yeah,
real
she
quickly?
was very fake tan. She was very slender. She had on I think a one of those that designer lady that makes Florida print dresses.
Yes, but the stylish kind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that. Well, not stylish. It was ugly, but she had that on, and big turquoise jewelry, pearl jewelry kind of thing, with her mix.
In L.A.
Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah. And I literally was like, "Can you stop talking?" I was like, "This is insane." And I've had similar things like that happen a lot. I've had women in that environment where I'm like, why would I be cutting your crease for pussy? What are we talking about?
I know, what tree are you barking up
I'm
right
just
now?
what's going on here? And I'm like, no, you can't. First of all, because we're not touching. Right. And also, that would be psychotic.
She felt one of the brushes and was like, "Jesus Christ!"
And I was just like, you're an insane person." And then I've had things like that happen, but I never even thought about that. I've never even thought about that being catcalled and stuff. Which I guess, you're technically all right, but that's never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, it's definitely not. That's why I'm telling the story in a funny way.
Yeah, my brain goes right to I have to tell everyone about those.
Yeah.
But I also didn't feel unsafe. However, I have been I've had to when when I've been to bars and stuff, and all my girlfriends go to the bathroom or something, then I have to go to a different bathroom. I'm immediately this is terrifying. Right. But also not really, right? Because I will fight you.
It's true.
So there's that. But anyways, that had nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Fun conversation.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I have one more thing to say.
No,
that's
please,
not related.
please.
Did you know that men's pee-pee holes can get yeast infections?
Yes, their urethra absolutely can. Yeah.
This is unknown facts to the world, I think.
You didn't know that?
Well, we talk about women having yeast infections like it's some kind of like it's in the newspaper. Like people just say it all the time, constantly.
Extra, read all about it.
Like they're fucking making bread bowls for Panera. Like we act like they're just a yeast factory. That's not true. And then I'm like, men can get yeast. How does every man that we know not have a yeast infection?
It's harder. It's more difficult for a man to get a yeast infection just because.
Do you have to shove a little piece of bread up there? Well, how do you get it?
Well, I think it's the same way, but it's just like the biological setup of a penis as compared to a vagina makes it harder. And I think I don't. Dr. Dan here fucking don't know anything, but it might have something to do with the length of the urethra also, but I'm not sure.
The depth of the urethra. Do you think people that do sounding get it a lot?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Let us know in the comments if you're a sounder and you have a yeast infection.
I hope we become the #1 podcast amongst sounders.
God, I thought you were going to say hope we become sounders, and I was like, cannot, will not.
Yeah, that's how we get the YouTube off
I don't
the
even
ground.
want to say the word. Yeah, that's when people finally start subscribing.
God. The #1 sounding podcast.
Yeah, sounding like I'm canceling the podcast.
People might not know what sounding is.
I don't want to tell them. Google it. Look it up.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to feel bad about it. If you like it, I love it. But you look it up yourself.
It's just putting a little
okay, another story. I have another story about sounding.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's putting an object that is usually created for this purpose by someone.
Right.
The cast of Hellraiser.
Not like a pipe cleaner.
Yeah, they putting in the urethra basically.
Yes.
So in my hometown, we had this boy, and he told us in front of the class. This was his speech, I guess he wanted to give when we were reading papers. We were in the 7th grade. He told us that he would stick Lego antennas in his until they shot out.
Lego? What is a Lego?
Like, you know when you build, like, I guess, well, I mean, I'm not a big Lego person.
Yeah.
But I guess when you build like certain Lego pieces, there's like little antennas like on cars and things like that, and they're like little long things with like round, like an antenna would be, but just like a little Lego version.
And you guys, when he said that, were like, cool.
Well, I mean, he was like, I don't think he was, you know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah. Please describe more.
I don't know what you're talking about, but he used to, like, we would have to do, like, he wasn't, there was I don't know what to say, but he just, like, he would do things like that a lot. Like, he would go outside and eat, like, onions, then puke them up and eat them again. Or he would, like, masturbate to Pokemon, and our teacher would make us go every day, same time. He would go in the stall, get out a Pokemon book, and he would have
Which Pokemon do you know?
No, because I refused to go get him. She would make a different guy go get him every day, like from the bathroom, like
right.
at the same time. And I was, you know, I wasn't doing it. And I was like, I don't know where we are. I don't know who I am. I don't know what school this is. I can't be a part of it.
I wonder which Pokemon. I mean, I
think maybe it's a different one. Whatever it is.
This is such not a an important part of the story. But I'm transfixed on what Pokemon.
You're trans what? On this podcast?
I'm so sorry. It just ends there. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm replaced by another guy with a mullet. Just a different guy.
That's so funny.
Was it like a Machamp maybe? You know what I mean?
I think it was Clefairy.
Yeah, Clefairy. Yeah, that's the
a Jigglypuff.
Yeah, Clefairy's a little slut.
Is that a Jigglypuff? A Mr. Mime.
Oh, that would be
Diglett.
That
Ooh,
would be
Diglett.
Lock that kid up if he's masturbating to Mr.
I mean,
Mime.
no shame to him. I hope he's doing great in life. But he was.
Shout out to Mr. Mimes.
Yeah, I mean, he was also very smart. To be honest, very, very smart.
Listen, he
was a math whiz. Like, I mean, I tell you.
The geniuses always have their predilections. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. So the real topic, our group topic, now that I've asked you everything I can think of. So somebody left this on one of the YouTube in the comments.
Keep doing that.
And we do read them. We love this.
Keep
Dan's like,
putting
keep
stuff.
thinking of the suggestions for me.
No, I think of my suggestions, but it's nice to hear what you.
I love it.
It's nice to hear the pulse.
But it's funnier to make fun of you.
Yes.
So the topics people want to know, like, what we about. Etiquette, like if we think that like table etiquette, dinner etiquette, like the way people treat each other, if that's like a thing of the past, if we've evolved, if like, you know, like if we're too, like if we should have it again, or if it's good, it's gone.
If we should bring back table etiquette,
or just etiquette in general. Well, I mean, they said table etiquette, but I think about etiquette like as a whole, because etiquette has changed. Like now we have like cell phone etiquette, we have like, you know, Zoom etiquette, we have all these things. And back in the day, it was just like, don't put your elbows on the table.
I'll say there are forms of etiquette that I do really like, not because of the pomp and circumstance of it,
That's what I like
not because the pomp or the circumstance.
But I'm not even joking with you, Dan. I used to beg my mom to find an etiquette teacher somewhere, I guess in rural Tennessee, because I needed to let everyone know that I was the one and I will be the one till the day I die.
Oh my god!
You know how bad I wanted to go into a lunchroom in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and be like, "That's the wrong spoon. You're using the wrong spoon."
You wanted to go to the Denny's in town and be like, "No. The chilled salad fork is used on this form of grits."
3 sides to the left. I cannot believe that you think I'm in a town that has a Denny's. You really think I'm someone, don't you?
I think you
think I'm a Rockefeller.
Yeah, that is true. I was going more off of someone who wants etiquette lessons would live in a Denny's town. That's what I was going.
I can only
off
be
of.
so lucky.
You could only hope. You could only dream.
We had a restaurant called the Rusty Fish Hook. It's gone now. It was called the Rusty Fish Hook.
I think we didn't live in similar towns, but I similarly lived in a town where it was like I had like 3 restaurants in my town. You had to go like to the next town to go to a restaurant. It was this one that just kept closing, and then one Thai food place, which now looking back on it, was just not Thai food. And then one of the worst pizza restaurants.
You just had Dan, Doug's, and Tony's.
Yeah.
That was in Boston.
Tony's was the Thai one because it was
Tony's
like,
Thai.
What an extravagant name. No, but so when it comes to etiquette, I do like. I don't like table etiquette unless like you're being gross.
I don't like it.
I eat really fast, and people will often tell me I eat too fast, but I like eating that fast.
To your face?
Oh yeah.
Well, if everyone's telling you something, I guess something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Oh yeah, something is wrong. It's not that I don't think etiquette should exist. I'm just saying I don't follow it and I don't like it.
Why do you think you eat fast?
I don't know. Probably like an internalized like lack of comfort.
Did you know what I mean? No. What? Explain that.
Like if you feel scarcity, you're gonna eat your food fast.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you have siblings?
No. Oh yes, but older sister. So no one who would fight me for my food.
Yeah. So no one who's coming to wrestle you for
I knew you were
Twizzler.
asking. Yeah. No. My sister was not drop kicking.
You got all your own hot pockets.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. So you don't have that. So did you not have food at some point?
No, I always had food. It's really weird why I eat so fast. I have no idea. I think it's because I have a big fucking mouth.
I think it's because you're. What I'm learning about you is you don't like to sit still.
No, yeah.
You're a goer and a doer and I think you're just making things up to do.
Yeah,
you're going out and trying to find more work to do. You're like, sometimes I mow lawns. No one asked me to. Just show up, mow their lawn.
When I was living on my friend's couch and in my car back and forth, and I didn't have a job, I would literally just go to the library and learn about like nothing important. But I would just try to go and give myself like literally homework.
Okay, first of all, can I just tell you? Every time that you talk about this, that you've lived in a car and you were homeless stuff, I think that is so impressive. Not impressive in like, wow, Dan, like it's so cool you did that. But I mean, like, I cannot even fathom the idea of it. Like sometimes the first time you said it, I started sweating. I was like, well, if that was me, I would just die.
Yeah, well,
I mean, maybe I'd be really good.
I don't like calling it homelessness just because it's like, I wanted to be in Boston so I could do stand-up, and where I lived, like I could stay with my mom if I had wanted to. I easily could have, but she just lives so far away from Boston, and I just couldn't go back and forth. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna be in this city."
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
and
you're
not have an apartment.
I'm just saying, like in general, the thought that you wanted something that bad that you could do that, and then that you also found ways to motivate yourself. Sometimes if I have like a hair appointment canceled, I have to lay in bed all day. I'm like, they've ruined my life because I'm such a creature of comfort. Now I will go out of my way to help someone or do something for somebody, but when it comes to just me, I require a lot of recharge time.
I have that.
I will go out and I will give the world to people. I will give you the towel tap dance. I'll act a fool. But when I tell you I don't want to do something, it's for our best interest that we don't do it.
That's good though. I think that you put in enough legwork to have that attitude, and I think that attitude requires legwork. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That attitude requires like you offer something which you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know that I will not be fun if I can't recharge. I'm the person who's like when people are like, I gotta keep busy or I'll start thinking about things. Like if I'm not laying on my couch watching 1,000-Pound Sisters, I'll lose it.
You know what is so funny to me though is people who are constantly on recharge. When I worked at the meditation center, it would be like older, like mostly women but also men who like either had family money or they just lucked into a bunch of money and sold their company or whatever.
Trust fund fatigue.
Trust fund fatigue, yes. And it was just
That's what I call that.
Once I balance my chakras, then I'll start writing my novel.
It's just kinds of people. First of all, if I had a trust fund and I didn't have to do anything, I would truly, you would never see me. You'd never see me again. I would be gone. Do you know how? And you'd be gone. We'd all be gone. We'd all be gone somewhere. Because I was like, we are living life. Like we're
going to be lying.
I do not First of all, either way, the I'm always recharging and have nothing to do, or that I'm the grinding people.
Yeah.
If you don't quit grinding. I can't grind all the time. I'll be a nub.
We should put them all, the like can't stop grinding people and the constant rechargers in like a real live style house situation.
Pair them up in a Netflix show.
And then if you get voted off, you die. We kill you. And then at the end of the show, there's less of those people.
That is sounds like a political stance, and I'm gonna avoid talking about it because I don't. You lost me. I thought we were just making a nice Netflix series.
I'm making a nice
like Love Is Blind or something.
People love Squid Games. Let's see how it pans out.
That wasn't real.
Okay.
Well, what was the point of this?
We were talking about.
I know we were talking about etiquette, but how did we get on this?
Food, eating, me eating fast. It was me eating fast.
Yeah.
Kind of got into this.
But there was something else.
Me living on my couch.
What are we currently talking about right now?
Etiquette.
No, what were we just talking about? I really just
What
forgot.
do you mean?
What were you just making that comment about?
Oh, constant recharge? Me working as a meditation.
Recharge.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the grind people.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
back.
yes,
I'm back.
yes,
I was
yes,
like,
yes,
what was I literally just saying?
We're back.
Ooh, lost it.
We dissociated for a moment.
I was on recharge. But the grind people that in their bio always grinding, gotta be grinding, stay on your grind, songs about grinding. I need to lay down.
Yeah, I understand that.
I can't put in the energy.
But also, I do, and this is probably part of like me being sort of a freak like that. Is I think there's a gaudiness and like it's a little bit ostentatious to
Austin Powers.
It's a little bit Austin Powers to put that like in your bio because it's like I understand and it's like good for you if you're working hard, but like we'll see that you're working hard.
And it's like hashtag never stop.
We don't need you to be constantly reminding us. That's kind of
hashtag stop.
But then again, a lot of the people that do have that, like I just know, like the kids from my school, the ones who usually had like the hardest upbringing or whatever, are the most likely to be like constant grind, 100, like never stop, won't stop, and it's like so I kind of get it. It's like it is this making up for. You know what I mean? This like feeling of lack and scarcity.
I feel like the people that are always talking about grinding are never grinding.
Yeah, that too.
I feel like they're the people who we are talking about. We are living in the future. We're like in the future. After I've grinded, I'm gonna have my own. We're not in the future. We're right here at Buddha, and I need us to focus on the now.
Right.
Because I just the grinding thing is just too much for me. Because like I need a break.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, and I also don't like the constant like the recharge people either.
Do you feel pressured by like the grind culture or whatever?
Like I mean, I definitely experience like doom scrolling when I see like my friends or people doing well, and I'm like, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I also am like very aware of like I'm a different person. I have different skills and personality. Like we're all very different. So like I let that go a long time ago with like the whole comedy thing where it's like everyone's doing something different. Like also everyone's version of comedy and what they want in their career is so different. Or any career, not just comedy. But that's just the one that we're talking about. But it's just in general, like I had to let go of that because I was like devastating myself, being like, well, how come I'm not playing the 7-Eleven down in the corner? It's like that's not even no one would even be like, you know where Benton's gonna be? Like that doesn't even resonate with me. Or I would be like, well, how come I'm not at the Christian comedy convention? You know what I mean? It's just like things I didn't even want. I was like, are you crazy? But
I was surprised not to see you this year. You know what I mean?
As if you were there.
Me, and the Pope of Comedy and Reverend Haha. We had a great show. We had a great show.
Sister Mary laughs and giggles.
Oh yeah, I gave a heckler an exorcism. It was really a good show.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's so fun.
You get up on stage.
I just who here feels drawn to comedy? And you just try to explain to people not to do it. Please don't do it. Turn away. I would catch myself and I was like, one day I was just like, Benton, you don't even want those things. You want your version of that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll see people that are like performing at just like a club that I've also performed at, and I'll be like, how come I'm not at New York Fashion Week?
But don't you also feel like on the flip side of that, like you should never take those things and use it to hurt yourself. But I think a lot of people do. A lot of people take other people's positive things and use it to hurt themselves.
I watched Degrassi. I'll hurt myself with anything.
Exactly. That evil thing in your brain that's like, you suck, like, blah, blah, blah. It just, like, it sees that stuff and it's like, ooh, good, we have fuel. Like, why aren't you doing that? Da, 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 da. But I think it, in, like, a certain way, it can also, if you kind of take care of that, it can be positive because I feel that all the time, too, when I see someone doing something and I start feeling shitty, and I'm like, well, why did they get? Which happens with everybody. I think that thought initially comes up, but it's like whether or not you give that thought fuel. And I feel like
the thought's fine. How you react to the thought is the problem. It's like jealousy.
Yes.
Being jealous is fine. If you react like a piece of shit because of your jealousy, that's the problem.
Yeah, I feel like I am like at certain points when I'm like at my best able to see that and be like, oh well, maybe that's something that I want, and I can start looking into myself as to like what I can do to start working towards being on Degrassi season 37.
It's over, sadly.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but that is true. I feel the same way. I had to be like, okay, what do you actually want? When you see this thing happening, then now you're just like, well, I should have something. Like I had to be like, but what's the actual thing? Like, for instance, like in my head, this is like what we're doing right now is like one of my I love doing it. It's so much fun.
It's very fun.
I love doing it. I love editing it. I love the clips. I love the whole process we've done so far. I like working with you, like the whole thing. And then I'll be like, yeah, but maybe I should be doing this instead. Like maybe I should be focusing on something else. And it's like, why? I don't even want to do the thing I'm talking about.
Right.
Like this is the thing I want to do. Or sometimes I get really insecure because this might sound like narcissistic, and I hope it doesn't, but like I sometimes I'll be like, oh well, I'm different than the comedians I know. Like I also like X, Y, and Z that I don't know anybody else that likes those things, and then it like confuses me, and I'm like, is that confusing other people? And then do they not know what I want to do?
No, all that compared shit. You know what people do that the most with is like when they have a romantic partner, they do that fucking shit. I do that shit sometimes where if I know anything or catch wind of like a person I'm dating's ex. Oh man, you're just constantly like, oh, they think they're cool with their nice car. Well, I bet he doesn't read as much as I do, and it's just like you just gotta stop yourself and be like, hey man, we're all gonna die soon. Why are you doing
That's
this?
interesting. See, I think that I would do really well at that aspect because I know that I'm the star in any room I stand in.
Oh yeah,
delusional confidence when it comes to that.
oh yeah.
If I would see someone else, if I had a significant other and I saw their ex, I'd be like, you are so lucky.
Yeah, you'd be like,
that I showed up.
I feel bad for him. Oh no.
I'd be like, that is so sad for you.
Someone help him before he
Because
starts
you know
crying.
why? Because delusion is a magical. It's delusion. People should be more delusional.
Well, it depends what direction you take your delusions.
I'm just telling you. Sometimes I wake up and I say, "Am I Mandy Moore?"
That's fine.
And I go through the day and I'm like, "What would Mandy Moore do?"
That's a positive delusion. I think a positive delusion in certain cases can be good.
I'm just telling you, people should be delusion.
Yeah.
You can't tell nobody nothing with delusion.
But other forms of delusion makes you go on Tucker Carlson in a really weird interview and then say some stuff afterwards that really has some repercussions.
My business because I'm delusionally over here.
Oh yeah, we gotta get you on Tucker.
We gotta get. I
change his mind about some things.
Yeah, he would listen.
Oh yeah.
I love I love public fights. Do you know about me?
Of course.
I'm obsessed with public fights.
Of course.
Not that I don't want them to happen, but like if someone records it and they're on the internet, I just need to watch it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's bad for those people that they got into a public fight, but if there's any positive that comes from it, it's you in your apartment going, ooh.
Yeah, because what I do, the same thing about like the real world. I'm obsessed with the real world road rules challenge. Don't even get me started. Yeah, I'm truly upset because all I do is watch those shows. I don't care what's going on. All I do is think about how would I react if I was in this fight.
Oh yeah.
How would I win this?
Oh yeah.
And it's like all I can think about. I'm just like, you know what I would say? You know what I would do? And I feel like it makes me a much more positive person out in the world because I get all my fighting done in secret.
That's great. That's great. Catharsis. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
But a public fight is very nice. But anyway, that answers the question about etiquette.
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
it?
you know what? We'll come back around to that. First of all, don't be fucking gross. If you like it. Okay, we're gonna come back to that. We'll do it next time.
We'll come back.
But look what you opened up. A beautiful box.
A beautiful. Do you want to start with my topic or your topic?
We can start with your topic.
Let's start with my topic. Okay. Sleep.
I would be doing it right now if I could.
Yeah, what? So you're a big sleephead.
Well, actually, I don't. I'm a little fake. I'm being fake.
Okay.
Because I'm a night person. The daytime, get out of here. I'm the night when the sun starts to set. Oh, I'm alive, BB. I'm over here. I'm up till 4 in the morning. I'm organizing. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm editing. I'm putting makeup on for nobody and nothing. I'm doing the most. Reading books.
Is there a reason for that? Because I'm very much an odd night person.
Because the nighttime is cool.
What about it?
First of all, I'm deep, dark, and twisted. Let me tell you.
You're like Jack
I'm a
Skellington.
punk baby.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a whole Nightmare Before Christmas bedroom. You don't know. The nighttime is cool. You've never seen a movie about some cool bitch in the daytime. You've never seen a cool. You've never have.
You've never seen a movie about a cool bitch.
You never have. Tell me a cool bitch in the daytime.
None come to mind.
Daytime TV. I would do that.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, vampire movies, nighttime. They gotta come out at night. Why? Because they're so cool.
They're nice.
Like Witch at nighttime. They're out at night. Hellraiser, nighttime girl. That's not a daytime thing. Fetish clubs, nighttime.
You love Hellraiser.
I'm obsessed. I cannot stop.
The new one's coming out, right?
It's already out, baby.
It's already
I've
out.
watched it 46 or 3 times. I've watched it so many times.
It's good.
It's too good.
Let's go.
Anyways, but yeah, nothing cool is happening in the daytime. Brunches, boo. I mean, don't get mad at me, gays, but boo. What else happens in the daytime? The DMV is in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
You know why stores close at night? Because it's fun. It's fun time.
Right. People have to stop
for
working.
Fun.
That's a good point.
If a store's open 24 hours a day, it's probably fun.
You know what? I gotta say,
IHOP, fun as hell.
You're gonna hate this. I feel the same way about not the day. I think day, noon. Who the fuck likes noon? If you like noon, either you're crazy or you do duels. You do gun duels, and you need to meet people at high
Taylor
noon.
Swift didn't write an album about noon, did she? No, midnight,
no,
baby.
Midnight.
Why do I keep saying baby like that?
It's pretty cool.
I'm insane.
No, it's nice.
I could be drunk a little bit.
I feel the same way about the morning as you do about night.
You think the morning is cool?
I love the morning. I love the morning.
Let me tell you no. I'm sorry I keep gagging
No,
the
the morning's
microphone, but I
cool.
mean it.
No, it's fine.
And the morning is so stupid.
You're wrong.
The sun comes up, I have my eyes closed, burns my retinas with my eyes closed. How dare the sun get to interrupt me when my eyes are closed?
No. See, you don't understand the morning. Here's what the morning is. Because people see the morning. Rise and grind culture has ruined what the morning is. People think the morning is like...
I grew up on a farm. The morning is rise and grind.
Yeah. It literally rise and grind. But the morning is a time where you get to wake up and walk around, and for that like brief amount of time before you've done anything or talked to anyone or like you've opened your eyes just now, you like maybe see the sun a little bit, you can be like, maybe I'm not a piece of shit.
Nope.
You
Incorrect.
get to go, maybe.
The daytime you go, nah, I have to go to work.
Daytime, yes. No. I'm not a daytime advocate. I'm a morning advocate. Once it gets
That's
past...
when the day gets bad.
No. Once it gets...
I wasn't a dream.
Once it gets past 10 a.m., gone. Bye-bye.
People work towards their dreams, not their mornings.
I love my mornings. Don't take my mornings away from me.
That's such a you thing to say.
Yeah, it very much is.
We're like yin and yang.
Now let's get into some sleep because this is very important.
I had sleep apnea because my tonsils were the size of softballs.
What did you do for that?
They took my tonsils out.
Oh wow! And then that got rid of the sleep apnea.
Yeah, because my tonsils were so big they were touching. They were so big they were coming out the side of my neck.
Do you sleep well? Are you a good sleeper?
Let me tell you, I one time in an apartment in college that I lived in alone. I one time slept. So I lived it was like a loft. So you come in the door, go up the steps, right? Mm-hmm. The very back is the bedroom. 4 people from the apartment complex came into my apartment, carried a ladder up the steps, put the ladder down beside me, climbed up on it, changed the smoke alarm that was going off, laid the you know how when they come into your apartment they leave a piece of paper saying they did it?
Yeah.
Left it on my sleeping body. And I never woke up.
Like you were in the morgue.
Because why? Because the daytime sucks and I ain't getting up for nothing and no bad.
That is so crazy.
When I have to get up to go to work in the morning, I'm pissed.
I understand.
I'm livid. I'm like, I was asleep.
I feel like I touched on a subject for you.
Yeah, the mornings are just stupid. They're
They're good. They're
Nobody
fucking
likes,
good. The sun
though.
is barely up. The sun is barely up. It's like it's not fucking too hot. It's good. The birds are chirping.
Who cares about the sun? It's killing us.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the morning. Your
oh
day
my
could
God,
go great.
No, anything can happen at night. No one goes, New York in the day is gorgeous.
In the morning, it's pretty cool. You
no,
see
it's
all the
not.
trash, all the beautiful trash from the night before.
It's so embarrassing. Tell me about sleep.
Let me tell you a little bit about sleep.
I love sleeping, but also hate sleeping because it takes up a lot of my time that I could be awake at night.
Interesting point.
I honestly, if I didn't have to sleep, like, remember, you ever seen Twilight?
No.
Boo. So Twilight, very good.
Sure.
The first one, iconic. They don't sleep. The vampires don't sleep ever.
Sure.
They just watch other people sleep. Very weird. But not sleeping. When I read that in the book, I was like, not sleeping. People were like, it's torture. I was like, I could do so many things.
No.
It's just lonely. That's the thing that's sad about the nighttime. All the boring people are asleep, and they're usually your friends.
You need us.
It's
though.
lonely. I
Yeah.
know it's so lonely.
We keep you guys. We keep you
now
guys
tell me
company.
about sleep.
Okay. So, almost half of all Americans say they feel sleepy during the day between 3 and 7 days per week. So they feel sleepy during the day. Do you feel sleepy during the day?
I never felt sleepy. When I'm up, I'm up.
In your whole life?
Yeah, not that I ever know.
See, I'm a nap guy. That's interesting.
Ooh, I hate fucking naps.
Interesting.
Nap. If I close my eyes, it's tomorrow.
Okay, this is the
I
most.
can't nap.
This is
You
the most
can
fun
nap?
one. Yeah, yeah.
That's such a good quality
I
for
do
a
a
future celebrity to have.
I do a 20-minute nap, and I'm up.
Oh
and I'm
my
fresh.
god, a 20-minute.
Set the timer.
You are not a human.
No, I am.
No, you're not.
I just would like to be a robot.
Yeah, I cannot believe that. Does it make you feel better?
Yeah,
You feel
way
recharged?
Better. Oh, way better. 20 minutes is perfect. It's
Psychotic.
perfect
Oh, you're
amount of
making
time.
me mad.
Okay. At 43%, Hawaii has the highest percentage of adults who get 7 or fewer hours of sleep per night.
In Hawaii?
In Hawaii. South Dakota, at 26%, has the lowest percentage.
So they get the least amount of sleep in South Dakota?
Now, here's my thought on that.
Right.
If you're in Hawaii, you're trying to be awake.
No, I would think you would sleep more in Hawaii because you're relaxing and it's like on an island.
No, because you're in Hawaii. You're
I'm
like
pretty
everything's
sure you
beautiful.
have to relax on an island. Like it's part. You just have to do.
You
it.
can relax, but you don't want to go to sleep because it's like everything's beautiful. You know what I mean?
It'll be there when I wake up.
And then South Dakota, maybe people are like, I'll get 8
First of all,
hours.
I don't believe in the beauty of any place I can see a screensaver of.
What do you mean?
If my Apple TV will pull up a picture of it when it's like going through the screensaver mode,
Yeah.
I want to see it in real life.
It's
always better in a picture. This is like when people are like, "Oh, I love listening to this band at this cafe." It sounds better on my album. They've put in all this work to make it sound better.
There's so much wrong with what you just said.
I'm just telling you, there is no point in me traveling across the United States of America to see a hibiscus that I can pull up on Google.
First of all, no one's crowding around a hibiscus.
Well, you've
right?
never seen one clearly because they're the one, mama.
But I'm saying, have you ever been to like Yosemite?
Lake
Or
Yosemite?
Yosemite?
He sounds racist.
Yosemite sounds racist.
Mm-hmm. I've never been there.
I will say this: a lot of whites, a lot of honkies
In
out
Yosemite?
there. In Yosemite, yeah, really surprising. Half Dome in person is like this rock formation. It's one of the craziest things you've ever seen, and the pictures don't do anything justice. What are you talking
Oh
about?
no, I agree that like if I was there, I'd be like, this is spectacular.
Yeah,
but I just don't need to go because I've already seen it. I'm just saying I don't need to go.
This podcast could.
This is where I go for things. I'm more of like, what is there to do? Like I'm like, I want to go to this bookstore in London. I want to go see the fountain in Italy. Like that. Like that's. I mean, there's a picture of the fountain. Like I get it, but like Lizzie McGuire sang there, so like I need to go see. But it's like, if it's like I went to the Grand Canyon a couple times. Once when I was coming to California with my friend Holly, and it was like. It took like 2 hours to get up there to it, 2 hours to get down back to the road, and it's a hole.
Okay,
it does look better on the internet. People have the colors all changed. It's gorgeous. In real life, I'm just like, well, look, there it is.
All right, you know what? We can't get behind each other on this one.
Let's not get behind each other.
Let's not get behind each other. I mean, how can you get behind each other? You know what I mean? That makes no sense.
Yeah, because I'm always in front.
You're always in front. I will agree with you on the fact that just driving, if you can just drive to a place and look at it, takes away from it a little bit.
You think it's better if I have to get on a plane and walk to it? Oh my God. If someone made me, when people travel up all those stairs.
Oh, it's awesome.
All those stairs to get to the top of like a temple or something.
Right.
If there's not a gift at the top of that temple, if there's not a gift shop, if there's not a picture that'd be like, we took a photograph of you 300 steps up. If I don't get something from that,
you're pissed.
I'm livid. And listen, I love a good experience and I'm a humble little baby, but I just don't.
No, judging
I
by
can YouTube someone doing this. I can watch them GoPro it.
judging by the amount of time you do spend in your apartment, I can attest to this.
Why would I? See,
You believe?
when people try to come for me about being in my apartment or staying home, I'm like, yeah, I've curated all the things I like in one fucking place.
You're good at making a
Why
space.
would I leave it?
That's a really good point. Yeah, fuck you. I made my. Oh, you have to leave your apartment to get something you want? Sorry, you suck at creating a
I'm
space.
sorry that I'm content with myself and I love my things I worked for.
Good point. Another really interesting thing about sleep that I watched a TED Talk about this before this podcast, and I had no idea about this. So some of the best sleep research is done because of daylight savings time. Because when people lose an hour...
Fake.
What do you mean?
Daylight savings is so stupid.
Oh, it's fake. I agree it's stupid. Completely. So when people lose an hour of sleep, they can study because obviously people have lost an hour of sleep. And when they gain an hour, same thing. They find these metrics of overall health drop so like car accidents go up, heart attacks go up.
When it gets night?
No. When you lose sleep, like when you lose the hour of sleep because
That's
of daylight
right. The
saving
daytime's
time.
killing people.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it is the daytime.
See, if at night you'd be sleeping in the night.
But it's so crazy because listening to the TED Talk, I was just like, oh, it'll be interesting to watch this just to talk to Benton about it. But when I read more and more about it, I was like, holy shit, this is like everything and no one talks about it. Like, I think now anyone who is advocating for having less sleep or like, you should get up and grind even if you went to bed at 2, wake up at 6. But it's like, you need to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can Google sleep, and like, one of the side effects of not sleeping is, like, dizziness, like, you, like, see things and stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean, all of a sudden you're in a desert, mirages.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, also, daylight saving time is, like, not stupid if you're a farmer. Like, I understand the point of it.
Right.
Like, seasonally, it makes sense. But as someone who just has to wake up when the sun comes up and go to bed when it goes down, like, I don't need to know what time
Kind of sucks, yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm just like, okay, it's 6 o'clock. That means nothing to me.
Right.
You're just, now I'm in a prison of time.
Whoa, you got really existential there.
I have things to do when I feel like doing them.
Mm-hmm,
Could you imagine if someone said, "Get this to me when you're ready"? It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Get this to me at 5. I don't want to anymore. I don't want to do it. I've given up.
No, now knowing you, having worked with you on the podcast for this long, I know to never ever be like, "Hey, can you get this done at any point during the day?"
Well, I have a job, Dan.
Well, that too.
You think I'm just doing nothing all day long?
No, I think that you're lamenting the fact that you have to work at your job when you could be sleeping.
Yeah, with psychos and nut jobs, which is actually really good because it brings us into my topic.
Excellent.
Which is what do you think about holiday shoppers? As someone who has worked retail many times in my life, like when it gets close to the holidays, white women in Range Rovers come out in droves.
Oh yeah.
There is Lululemon and Rage afoot.
I've said this so often. A white woman in a Range Rover can sniff out a minimum wage employee like a panther can sniff out a muskrat, and they just go, something weak, something I can take advantage of. Where are they? Wait, at the Kohl's? I'm there.
I had a lady the other day tell me that she was spending $152,000 on putting in new cabinets while I was doing her makeup, and then gave me a $5 tip.
Yeah, they do that. Don't they do that?
I wanted so badly to be like, if you don't take this tip back,
yeah,
I'm going to go outside and cry.
You said that in such a threatening way.
Yeah.
Listen to me. If you don't take this tip back in your fucking purse, I'm going to get really upset for a long time.
I'm not a violent person.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've had that the other day. First of all, it's very, very, very hard for someone like me to even be in retail to begin with because all I want to do is point out injustices. And this other day was in shopping and she was asking us a bunch of questions. She was she was like, okay, so like what foundation, whatever. And I was like, let me show you this, whatever, this foundation and stuff. And then when I walked around to grab it for her, her teenage son said, why are we asking poor people for advice?
You got to hit that kid.
It took everything. I had to be like, poor people probably do everything for you. If you had any skill, your mom can match your own fucking foundation.
I don't actually mean you should hit that kid, but something's got to happen to
Someone
that kid.
will. And then and it went on, and he just kept being like, he was acting as if he was like disgusted to be in the store. And I'm like, then take your ass back to the car.
How old are we talking here?
Like 17, 16.
Oh, 17, 16?
Yeah, I said teenager.
I thought 13. I was thinking,
what is it? Who cares?
oh, big difference.
No, first of all, you could be any age, and if you're a little bitch, you're a little bitch.
That's a little bitch.
And I'm just like, when a child,
Yeah.
in any kind of airport lounge crying, how dare you be ungrateful?
What's so
there are
funny?
free bagels in here.
What's so funny about that 17-year-old is he's gonna most likely. I don't like the stereotype here, but I'm gonna make an assumption. He's gonna grow up to be
in charge of our careers.
In charge of our career. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that goes without saying. But he's gonna grow up to also be like these fucking poor people. Why don't they work for? Why don't you get a job? Why don't these people just get a job?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're on food stamps. Why don't you just work harder? And it's like, motherfucker. Like
I can't. We can't even start talking.
Because I can understand when someone grows up like legitimately in the slum and they like fucking make their way out of it and they work hard. It's like when they say shit like that. I understand that to be like kind of a form of trauma in a way.
Which also is so rare. Let's just be very clear.
Very rare.
That is, I've personally never heard that.
Right,
from
but
someone.
it happens. It happens from time to time, and a lot of those people grow up and they have empathy for people who don't have a lot because they're like, well, it's incredibly difficult and a lot of stuff needs to line up for you to make your way out of this. So I have empathy for you. But the people who like make it and have like no empathy for the people, I get it because that's like a mechanism that you have to create in your brain. To like, it's like a coping response, and I understand that. But for the fucking people who grew up with all that shit, and they're still like, well, you should just work for it. You should just work, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you
didn't work for it. You were born into it.
You know what those people should do? They should, as an experiment, because they don't know. They have no idea how they would react. Take a year. Give your money to someone else. Put it in like a trust fund or whatever, like you, and see if you can do it. Really? See, if you want to make a statement,
you shouldn't be allowed to have money until you've worked a public job, like a food work, a service work of some kind, for at least 4 years.
If you want to make a statement like that, see if you can do it, because it's like otherwise you're just speculating on you're an armchair quarterback for poverty. You are a poverty armchair.
Insane.
You're the guy sitting on his recliner watching Tom Brady, being like, "Well, shouldn't have made that throw. Should have gave it to the slot receiver." It's like,
why is his name on the back of your shirt?
Yeah, that too.
Does he own you?
I bought a Cardinals jersey and I didn't know the player on it, but one of my friends just really doesn't like the Cardinals, and I was walking around in the jersey and I was just looking at myself in the mirror and giggling. It's so funny to wear a football jersey as like a grown up.
I thought the Cardinals were a baseball team.
They're also a football team. There's baseball Cardinals.
The more you know.
The Arizona Cardinals. I have to be a Cardinals football fan because they're the only state that will book me consistently for stand-up comedy.
That was such a okay. This is the kind of sad brain comedians have, where they're like, well, now I have to like this person because they let me go on. They let me do a show with them.
I'm joking, but I do love Arizona.
No, we know you're joking.
Now,
wait, no. I
holiday
have another,
shopping. Oh, go ahead.
I have another one. This is really what I'm talking about.
Please.
Fuck holiday shopping. This is the real point. Monsters shopping in retail. That's what I wanted to get to.
Great.
When I worked at Starbucks, we would have adults, women. I probably heard this from every age group you could imagine. Throw their trash on the floor, and we're like, "Oh, well, we actually have a trash can over there if you don't mind." And they'd be like, "That's your job." The amount of people that have told the employees that it is their job to pick up their trash they have thrown behind their shoulder, as if they're just, I don't know, some fainting woman throwing a bouquet.
Wait.
A bouquet.
They, at like a fast food restaurant, will leave their wrappers and stuff on the ground.
At a Starbucks, they would put their straw.
Themselves?
Yeah, they would say it's our job. They'd be like, that's your job to clean that up.
I've never heard of
That's
anything.
all I've heard. First of all, working at a Starbucks, you're in a war zone. The amount of people who have politically aligned themselves with or against Starbucks, it is so hard to work
It did
there.
become, it is a weird thing.
There during the pastel Easter cups, and the amount of them homo cups. I was like, first of all, they're pastel, they're Easter eggs. Yeah. They're not homo cups, they're Easter eggs.
People did really make, I feel like in
the red cup?
In any place that wasn't like a major city, Starbucks is like, well, that's where the liberals hang out. And it's like, it's just where you get coffee, man.
The amount of men that would come in during the Trump election when they had the red cups, which were these cups they designed for artists to design on the cup, and then next year they picked the design to be the next year's cup. So the cup was blank red. And this preacher was like, it's a Satan cup. And so the amount of men that would come and be like, you got Coke? And I was like, no, it's a cafe. They'd be like, well, it's a drink place. I was like, it's not a drink place. It's a cafe.
It's a drink
And they'd be like,
place.
I was like, if you go to a gas station, are you like the drink station? Like, I was like, we don't have Coke. And they're like, why? And then they would order a coffee out of spite and then make us write like Trump 2020 on it.
Oh, that happened to you. I've heard of that
and
happening.
if we didn't say it, at the end of Starbucks, they call your name out. Well, nobody would ever do it really at the Starbucks I worked at because, like, one, that's psychotic. And they'd be like, say it, say it, say it, say it. Why aren't you going to say it? Like, recording us. And I'm like, this is insane.
That's so
First
crazy.
of all, I don't care if you drink. I don't care if you ever get coffee. Like,
also, it's like you were like rebelling against a $1 trillion business. This is not like
you're not rebelling. You just came and bought a drink from them.
But I'm saying, like, this is not the center for like socialist thought that you think it is. This is not like a French fucking like salon where we're talking about highfalutin political ideas. They're selling Michael Bublé CDs. This is not
and
like
they sell a lot of them.
And they push that shit.
Let me tell you.
But that is so crazy. Yeah, I mean,
it was horrible.
I worked at a restaurant as a food runner, and there were a bunch of rich people. But it was cool being a food runner because they didn't pay me as much, which I at the time it was like whatever.
Like,
but
hell yeah, I love making lit.
I love being poor. No, but what was cool about it is it's way less stress being a food runner than a waiter. So I was kind of just
what's the difference?
A food runner, I'm just helping the waiters bring food out, and then I'm doing all the extra stuff in the kitchen, like I'm filling carafes of.
Do you have to run
ketchup.
like a valet person?
I don't have to run. No. But I'm just
you're a
like
liar also
carrying multiple plates out. I was a food walker, but that sounds like I'm walking
food
food
skipper.
like a dog. But so I would just watch these people who are serving just get absolutely hornswoggled by these patrons of the restaurant, and it's just like. I do. This is gonna sound whatever, but I do kind of feel bad for those people because I do think karmically that shit does come back at you.
Oh, everything you do in the dark will come to the light.
I agree.
I think that you're gonna get yours one day for sure. I don't care how much money you have. I mean, we've seen that money don't stop you from being chopped down.
And also, doesn't it feel good
when they get it? Yes.
Well, I was gonna say, like, in a situation where you know the person is stressed out, like you've been there before, and you're like a good customer. You're like, hey, listen, like I get it. Take your time. You like give a big. I was on the phone last night. I had to come up from San Diego. I caught a flat in San Diego, and I had to drive up. So it was raining and shit. And I was like, oh well, I have like a AAA thing, so maybe they could patch the tire or whatever. And I called them, and they're like sending a guy. And then I call them. I'm like, hey, like how much longer? And the woman checks, and she's like, I am so sorry. It's gonna be another 2 hours before. But I know, like I could have freaked out or whatever because I'm like, but I know how to change a tire. And I was like, hey, listen. Don't worry about it. You don't have to like say the guy would probably just come and change the tire for me anyway, which I don't need. So I was like, don't worry about it. Like, everything's fine. And then I was like, this must be a tough job, isn't it? And she was like, yeah, it kind of sucks. And I was like, I'm sorry about that. I didn't keep her on the phone. I didn't try to have a big ass conversation like, oh, well, that's tough. Like, where are you from? I didn't need to do that.
You're so nice.
Well, it's not even being, it's just like, I felt like shit in that situation, but I'm also sure, like, she's taking calls from assholes like me all night
100%.
who are, like, in worse situations than me. Like, I'm sure the people who usually call AAA are like, I have to get to fucking work. Like, I'm going to lose my house. Like, da, da, da. And then they have to, like, take that shit. But I'm like, I'm heading up from San Diego. I already did my show. It was a great show. I had a lot of fun. I'll sleep in my car, and I'll head up the next day. Like, it's whatever. Yeah, I just don't give it. So it's like, since I am in this place of, like, I hate to use the word privilege, there's probably a better word, but, like, I'm in the place of privilege where it's like, I'm not pressed in this situation. I could have the AAA come or not come. I'm like, I'm going to just be as nice as possible. And it feels good to do that. It feels
so much better to be nice to someone.
Feels really good to do that.
Do you know it's not helpful?
Go ahead.
When you try to be the customer that helps the employee against the rude customer, you are making it worse. I know you think you're doing the right thing. Now, so obviously, if they're, like, screaming and, like, if they're being really intense, like, that is very nice.
You gotta tackle them. Yeah.
Yeah. You put on your football pants. Yeah. But also, I love the fact that you started the first episode we ever did being like, sometimes I get really angry. I have anger issues. And every story you tell is like, and then I did the sweetest thing on earth.
I wouldn't say anger. I wouldn't say it's anger issues necessarily. But I can. Well, it's never the person who has them that says it.
Yeah, I didn't know what you actually said, but you said something.
But I do feel like I can be prickly with people. I'm like, I can be a little prickly. Like, if I feel like someone's being rude to me or whatever, I don't go A to Z, but I do go A to D a little bit. You know what I mean? I jump a couple of letters in between. That's
I'm on F at all times. I could be saying the nicest thing to you, and people are like, "Are you being sarcastic?" Like I'll be like, "Oh my god, you look like." I have such trouble with being like, "Thank you so much." Like people are like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "Thank you so much," and I'm like, I'm sorry. This is what I sound like. What do you want me to do about it? Be like, "Thank you so much." Like I don't know how to change it. I have like sometimes I'll stand in the mirror and be like, "Thank you, thank you."
Benton, just don't ever do that.
I do it all the time.
Don't ever do it with the R's though.
What do you mean?
Don't ever say thank you, sir.
Sir.
Oh my
Why?
god, that pisses me off.
Oh my god, hate crime.
Oh my god.
That's that girl. You know that meme?
So, yeah, I would say those were like, and then working at the meditation center, obviously there were some ding bats who would come in there, man. And it's so funny because they're all like, they all think they're being peace and love, but it's like, no, you're truly
you're being a piece of shit.
You're being a piece of shit, and you're making my life so hard. The first interaction you have when you left your like beautiful zenned out meditation situation was you made my life bad.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The people that have you ever worked at a retail store where people are waiting at the door before the store's open to make a return?
Oh yeah.
It is a daily thing when I go into teach my makeup lessons I do. Like the line of people, they are waiting to start the day off on a bad note. Yeah. They are before the store's open, just out there knocking the door. You can Google that the store's. I know the store's not open. One, the door is locked. Great. That's a good way to tell if something's open or not.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the parking lot, and it's 6 a.m. So you're here too early. That's your fault. Nobody else's. They come in like a bat out of hell, as if we have had them in a cage outside all night long waiting.
Right.
One time the power had went out. You would have thought we went back there like fucking rats and chewed through the cords just to ruin these people's
Why
day.
is the electricity on?
I mean, it is truly baffling and insane the amount of the energy that people put into being just rude.
Yeah.
At like, ever worked a Black Friday?
Oh God, no. Oh God, no. I couldn't fucking imagine.
The day after, we're thankful and we're coming in here burning buildings down to try to get. Here's a fun fact for you as someone who's worked in retail: 90% of the sales you're waiting on are already happening. Just if you go in the store, those black and brown Michael Kors boots already on sale. They came the same price they are.
Right. Yeah.
The only difference is Black Friday they put up a new sign and it looks like they're on sale now.
Right. Or I feel like they do some weird shit where they like will say that they marked it down to a price, but it was never that big price they had. They're like, we marked it down from $300 to $10, and it's like, I don't think this was ever $300.
Right. People also, why are people on Black Friday buying 8, 6, 12 TVs?
Yeah.
What are you? Are you put this in a chair in like superhero movies and they look at all the screens in the wall?
Yeah, it's not trading
Nerds.
stocks.
Are you one of those?
Yeah.
Because like, why do you know these TVs? Me, I have 15 TVs in the wall.
But
I'm just like, what in the world?
Well, it's this thing. I think what leads to rudeness, and I think like the stance that you always kind of want to have is
don't be rude.
Well, don't be rude, but I think like the core of your don't be rudeness should just be like, life sucks and is hard. And
I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare.
No, but you should have this like real understanding where it's like, you're like as a customer, like my life is shitty and is hard, but also this person's life is shitty and when you come in with that energy, it's so nice because it's like you're meeting someone on very common human ground, and you're like, hey, yeah, I know like this, but my car's like fucked right now. Like if I was in a situation that I wasn't in yesterday, but I'm like, is there anything we can do? Like, I get it if not. Is there anything we can do?
You're allowed to be frustrated. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to expect good customer service. You're allowed all those things. But at the end of the day, like in my opinion, there are people who are like incredible at retail. It is like their thing. Like they are the personality, the patient, the selling. They have all of it. But you have to, that most people are working their job to be able to live.
Absolutely.
You know that. You probably are working your job to be able to live.
Yeah.
So but the thing is with retail, especially around the holidays, people they're saving up their money. Now they're spending all the money they've saved.
Yeah.
Now they know they're gonna have money trouble. Like holidays are usually hard on people in general, and you're having to plan all this stuff, and you're having to buy gifts, and you're having to do this and that, and there's like a time limit on when you have to get the gift. Like, so it's already very stressful, and then you're coming in and you're mad that you have to spend your money, and you also work your job that you probably don't enjoy. So going to the mall is like your fun thing, and then the people that you're interacting with are all miserable, and you're like, why are you being miserable during my fun time?
This is my good.
And then it's like, well, because it's not their fun time. They're having to go up 24 ramps to park their car during holiday hours because there's 90 people here wanting to shop a sale that we've decided to only have once a year.
Right.
Like, it's insane, and it's just like. And then people are fist fighting over like Tickle Me Elmo toys. Like, it's just,
well,
it's
I like
wild.
that. I agree with that. I think there should be more fist fights
Boston
over.
Strong.
If there's gonna be, that's what Boston Strong is about. You know, it's
Tickle Me Elmo.
about fighting over Big Bird statues.
It's fighting over things no one needs.
Well, this was fun.
Oh, he's done. He's finished. He said, "I have nothing else to say about retail."
I've done my contractual hour. No,
contractual.
I was gonna say, please subscribe. And especially to the YouTube.
Yeah, please watch the YouTube. Please subscribe. Please share the clips. Listen, if you see anything about this podcast, just repost it. Just repost it. Go like it. Go share it. Show your mom. Look how nice. Wasn't this sweet? Weren't we sweet?
Or,
like,
hey, just keep living your life.
Yeah, or don't do anything because you know you're in charge of you.
Yeah.
Although, no matter what you do, be nice to people, especially if they're at their job.
Yeah. Or I'll kick your
And if you're having a
ass.
bad day, remember that it's probably your fault and not theirs.
And just know, I'll kick your fucking ass if you keep this up.
And I won't do much, but I'll be there.
Be there watching.
Okay, bye.